Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AAA meeting. I am your host, Sinatra Says, and I am alone. What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a lovely, lovely day out there. Man, oh man, what a day it has been. I have to say that my mind has kind of been changed on this Crowder stuff. Not by much, mind you. I still think he's throwing a fit over money. I still think that a lot of it has to do with he just did not like the contract he was offered. So he's throwing a little bit of a fit about it, but the idea that he is doing this as a way to expose predatory contracts, I think there might be a little bit of there with that one. I think there might be just a little bit of there. Like, it's possible. I don't know if I buy it yet, but I did watch all Rekida's stuff on it, and I got to tell you, it's definitely pretty interesting, to say the least. It's definitely pretty interesting. That being said, I think Candace Owens going out and defending the Daily Wire was a terrible look. It was literally the worst option they could have done. Pick me up a ghost for the show. Bang. I'm a little torn on it. Honestly, I am a little bit torn. Steve Dave, heavy metal check, hosts, well, sincere. That's an improvement today, or that's important today. Okay, and ratio, not check. Chat, before I cup check you with a bloody butcher's cleaver, holy shit. How about you get your fucking liking the, how about you get to smashing the like button? Do it or I check your crotch off. A little clunky. Don't forget to be on the Silent Sin. The Silent Sin. Sinatra's nice enough to double the stream for you, so I'm going to shill the name every Friday until Sin gets more over here than over there. Okay? If you're not there, get your asses in gear, dipshits. Thank you, Steve Dave. I will want to the fact that Crowder bought the domain Stop Big Con a month before he recorded the phone call with his friend just proves to me that this is a snake. I think that's a lot of people are just going ape for Crowder. Oh, Crowder always right. Crowder right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. You could think that. I think he knew what he was doing. I think it's part of a work. Partially because, okay, I'm in the middle of a show. Stop texting me paragraphs. Lost my train of thought. I think it's partially a work in that regard, but moreover from that, I do think it's a really, really important conversation to have that these predatory contracts are being offered out to people who are up and coming. Like, where the hell did that Brett Cooper person come from? I have literally never heard of them before in my life. Where the hell did this Brett Cooper person just pop up from? I do think it's good that these predatory contracts are being talked about. It does not surprise me in the least little bit that the Daily Wire is a very predatory business. That doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know. Is that backing track a little too loud for you guys? Or should I turn it down? That does not surprise me at all. I really think that the whole nexus for this was Crowder just being... he was insulted by the contract offered to him, which is fine. He very well may have been able to earn significantly more on his own than what was offered to him. That's perfectly fine. God bless. I hope he earns 10 times as much. Crowder has a niche and he's good at what he does, so I hope he earns as much money as he possibly can. But I think that's a huge part of it, that he was insulted. That, yo, where's Polydub? If I knew, shut up. It wasn't about the money for Crowder. I feel like they kind of did give him a shitty offer. He tried to use but the fact that they have Matt Walsh on their show, it's just, I'm very torn on it. I do think it's good that Crowder is exposing the fact that these contracts are being offered out to people who just don't know any better. And I really, really don't know who needs to hear this. But if somebody offers you a contract, look at it, have a lawyer look at it, find a lawyer, pay a lawyer. I don't care if you have to turn in your piggy bank, just get a lawyer to look at it. Doesn't the fact that it was an open offer for negotiation mitigate some of this? If it was a final offer, there'd be some scandal. Well, from what I understand, that their negotiations were going on for a long time, which is why he waited like 4 months to talk about it. And I guess they just could not come to an agreement, which is fine. One thing is for certain, though, is that anybody in the future who thinks about offering Crowder a contract, they're going to go, yeah, I don't think so. Like, nobody's going to put a contract in front of him if he's just going to turn around and make it public. I appreciate you being open-minded about this, not just hating Crowder, though you aren't a big fan. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Crowder is being an absolute baby about all this. I think Crowder is being an absolute petulant child. The fact that he was recording phone calls of people that he called his friends in order to put it public that they don't do something that he likes is, I think that that's completely unreasonable. I think he's being a giant baby. That would be like me and G being in negotiations or talk for something. That's good. Just a little bit more. That's good. That would be like me and G being in talks for something and me recording the phone call with G, even though we're buddies, we've worked together and we do all this other stuff. And me, like, playing the phone calls publicly, like, look at how he treats me. I can't, I really can't get jiggy with that. I think that him chimping out makes him look bad. Literally the only thing he has going for him is him, I think, retroactively claiming that this is to protect small and upcoming creators. A Crowder decidedly shot himself in the foot with his friends and future prospects, even if he has a point, he went about discussing it the wrong way. That's exactly my point. That is exactly my point. He shot himself in the foot, and I think Daily Wire sending out Candace Owens to do their damage control is literally the worst look they could possibly do. And here's another thing, is that, I forget his name, the guy who did the hour-long video for the Daily Wire. Him coming out and going, well, we would have given Crowder $100 million. All that tells me is that they were probably willing to go up to $200 million, and they just never got to that part of the negotiation. L's on both sides. Oh, L's abound on both sides. L's abound. There's no shortage of people looking stupid in this. But, Jeremy Boring. I am really torn on this. The good thing I can see coming out of this is the kind of shitty contract that he was given that's been exposed in public. But on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, I do believe that it's important to realize that the Daily Wire probably has people working with YouTube who they can call and personally talk to if something happens. Like, could you imagine how has Matt Walsh not gotten a strike? How has Matt Walsh not been hit? Because he's got people there. Matt Walsh is pretty. He's pretty. He can be pretty brutal. Yeah, Scribe, come on. What are you doing? I think he burned a bridge. My issue is my IP brand after the contract if I was him. I think he will be fine. I think Crowder will be perfectly fine. I imagine the displays were undamaged. Oh, yeah, we're good. They are perfectly fine. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Tim Pool didn't ask about Red Pill Black or Social Autopsy, so Tim isn't trustworthy either. Tim has never been trustworthy. Tim has always only been out for Tim. And you know, he's talking about how he makes 8 figures a year on memberships alone, and then turns around and fights with his co-hosts about money. And that's just membership. That doesn't count merch. It doesn't count super chat, Streamlabs, ad revenue, none of that shit. It's just memberships, and he wants to bitch about money. And so my biggest issue with all of this is you cannot express an opinion or a change of opinion without some dipshits replying to your tweet going, well, you're just jealous. Motherfucker, yes.
Hey there.
Hey, Scribe, what's going on?
So I had a question. I watched the hour-long... Oh, and by the way, hey, everybody, how you doing? Hope you're having a good Friday. I watched the hour-long response from Daily Wire. Now, just as a predicate, I don't watch Crowder. I don't pay attention to Daily Wire. My perspective on all this is complete outsider and uninvolved. Oh, right. By the way, let me know if somebody donates and I need to shut up because I can't tell.
All right.
So my question is, during the course of the hour-long Daily Wire breakdown of the offer, he mentioned something that I found very interesting. He talked about how on the phone with Crowder said something to the effect of, as soon as you guys bring me on, I'll bring over 350,000 viewers, subscribers, whatever he was talking about.
I think those are his Mug Club members.
Yeah, as Mug Club members. And the guy from Daily Wire, I think his last name is Boring, which is...
yeah, Jeremy Boring.
Yeah, Jeremy Boring. So Jeremy, he made a reasonable point. He said, like, well, you know, what numbers are the Blaze giving you as far as your turnout and that kind of thing? And he said that Crowder always said, they don't tell me those things. And so Boring, Jeremy made the point that he can't take the risk that what you think will happen will be what will happen, right? Which is reasonable. I didn't find that unreasonable. But then my further question is, well, then if the Blaze or his other employers aren't willing to release the numbers even to Crowder, if anything Crowder has to say about his overall value as far as the scope of his audience or anything else is unknown even to him, how did they reach that initial $50 million valuation of his worth to the company? Like, that's the one thing that I kept thinking about while I was listening to that thing. I was like, well, if Crowder and I'll stipulate, maybe Crowder has no idea. Maybe Blaze is keeping that from him. If
they figured
it
out.
Oh, I know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did somehow, some way. But when he made such a point of telling the audience in that hour-long video, Jeremy did, about how he couldn't take a risk on what Crowder may or may not bring over since he didn't have any hard numbers. How do you, again, that's the thing that kept bugging me, is just like, where did the $50 million thing come from in the first place? Why is Crowder at the very minimum worth $50 million? How did they arrive at that? And if he can't even verify the guy's value to the Blaze, why would he start off with that in the first place?
Well, that's the thing, is I feel like they just kind of went for a ballpark, and I didn't watch any of these things direct. None of the stuff I watched direct, except for the one like 15-minute video. The rest of it I watched through Nick Rekieta, who kind of broke it down therein. And that was, I watched it. It must have been 5.5 or 6 hours of Rekieta between last night and this morning, and it really kind of broke everything down. He really went into the contract, and he talked about the good and the bad of it. And I do agree that putting this contract like in front of me or you, like, there are some principle issues. There are some principle issues there. Like, let's say that I make 50,000 doing this every year, and the Daily Wire comes around and they go, "Well, we'll pay you 150,000, but you can't get in any trouble." Like, I can't be beholden to stuff that I have no idea about.
Well, again, I mean, that's why I come back to in the comment I made earlier. It's like the one thing that keeps putting kind of a damper on Crowder's complaints, as far as I can tell, is that unless Jeremy is lying, and unless there's some other information that he didn't release or that I'm not privy to because I don't know everything. This was just an opening salvo. This was not the final contract. This was
Yes,
not
it
the
was.
result. This was the final contract?
No, it was the opening.
Oh yeah, it was the opening. So if there was no if Crowder just rejected it out of hand without trying to negotiate out, like the YouTube thing about, oh, if you're demonetized, he's already demonetized by YouTube. There's no reason why
I thought he got his monetization back.
I thought he was okay. Well, again, I'm not so well versed. I was under the
Me
impression
neither.
yeah, I was under the impression that he's always, since Carlos Maza, he's effectively been demonetized, or that he got it back briefly and then got it out. But even if that was so volatile a thing as to why put that in there as a landmine, he could have conceivably negotiated that out with his lawyer. The entire thing was negotiable. So again, unless Jeremy is lying about the fact that their initial offer was initial and that he expected that the price was going to go up from 50 million to maybe 75 or something else. I mean, Crowder's complaints, while maybe there's some truth to them in how contract negotiations go with content creators in general, because we've seen, networks on YouTube and elsewise completely screw over content creators.
Oh yeah,
on
absolutely.
deals and things. So certainly there's an argument to be made about keeping an eye on things, having a lawyer, really holding people's feet to the fire that they don't mistreat or take advantage of people. Sure, but if I think Crowder has a better argument if that was the end result of 3 or 4 rounds of negotiation, since it was just the opening salvo. And again, unless Jeremy was lying, I watched the entire hour-long thing he put out there. Unless he was lying, he was completely open to and expecting there to be revisions to that opening offer.
Maybe Crowder just doesn't know that the opening offer is not the only offer. I feel
that'd
like
be funny.
That would be hilarious.
See, the one thing that I found really interesting is even if I'm not involved in this as a fan or as a viewer or anything else, I really found the inside baseball stuff of how these things go very enlightening. And so I had to wonder after that. I thought this was kind of funny. I was like, I wonder how the negotiation with the Blaze initially went. Was it just like, hey, hey, Steven, this is what we're offering? Okay. And he didn't even negotiate.
I gotta tell you though, the one thing that I just reject wholesale is that this is somehow a stop big conservative being in the bed with big tech thing.
Oh,
I just reject that outright, because unless he is opening a platform outside of YouTube, YouTube is his main income with the Mug Club. Well, I say YouTube is his main platform and then Mug Club is his income. He is working with big tech. He worked with, what's his name? Rush Limbaugh on The Blaze. Mm-hmm. That is as big big conservative as it gets, Rush Limbaugh. I reject that wholesale.
Yeah, that was the thing that didn't make any sense for me as far as Crowder's complaint when I'm listening to, again, just looking at the text that Jeremy presented in his summary of the offering. It's not a matter of we are beholden to these companies because we're their simps or something. We're beholden to this because this is the reality of the situation. The platforms that have the most Glenn Beck. Yeah, the platforms that have the most reach are the same platforms that Steven's currently using: YouTube, Spotify, etc. Not because you love the companies, but because those are the places where you can get your voice out. And just as a factor of reality, if they demonetize you, that has an effect on the income. It's not a matter of being beholden to them any more than it's the only game in town right now. And that's supposedly what Rumble is meant to disrupt. That's supposedly what Daily Wire is attempting to create in their own platforms and other things. It's sort of like necessity is the mother of the sin here,
right?
No pun intended. It's not that because they included those exceptions for those different platforms that they're part of big tech. It's that's just reality. And Steven knows it too, because he's on those same platforms. He's as beholden to them as Daily Wire is.
That was my knee-jerk response to this, was he is already beholden to big tech as it stands. So they're offering him 50-something million, 12 million a year or whatever, to do what he's already doing.
Exactly.
And sure, it might not be the same amount of money, which is fine. That's what contract negotiations are for.
Right.
But even if he does have a Rumble or a local, that's still 1 out of 5 things.
Yeah.
So
just,
yeah, you have to do that. Here, let me read these real quick. Derek LaRue for 10, no comment. Thank you. Donkey Punch. Tim could have easily signed with the Young Turks as Daily Wire. That's a fact. Crowder is disingenuous and the Daily Wire is blind to anything but the zeros they want to make. It's a fucking clown show. Looks bad on the right as a whole. Yes and no. I think this shows that there is some principle, although if Crowder had gone about this real quick, to respond to you, I think the money that they make from the ad reads compared to ad revenue is like 5 to 1. Mm-hmm. But I think the way Crowder went about this was all wrong. Crowder could have sat down, done a video, not shown the contract. He could have read it out, and he could have been like, listen, this is a contract I was offered, and this is what you need to watch out for. If you're a small and upcoming creator, don't let someone do this to you. He could have gone about it a million better ways than what he did.
Yeah, no, it was the absolute absence of professionalism to effectively call out someone who made you. I mean, and again, this was an opening offer. This was not like the end all be all, or like they ended the negotiations because Steven was being unreasonable or something. He opted out, and that was his prerogative. But then to turn around and make it out like they're the villains because they made an initial offer that he didn't even bother to negotiate. And then effectively just, why burn the bridges? I mean, if he wants to maintain his independence as a creator, that's perfectly understandable. You know, some people aren't team players, or some people like having their own kingdoms unto themselves. Fine. And as far as I can tell, what little I know about the guy, he's operated like that for the most part for most of his career. Okay. Well, why then make yourself a pariah amongst anybody else who might come along in the future, just interested in maybe working with you? Because if there's a risk now that you're going to throw a hissy fit and put on a public tantrum demonizing and vilifying that entity or those personalities because you decide you've been insulted, they're not going to come anymore. So congratulations, you've probably just ensured you will be independent by yourself in the future and onward.
And you know what? Honestly, hold on. It's kind of a great deal for small creators, isn't it? Like 100% you're signing that. If Daily Wire reached out to me tomorrow and said, we'll offer you $150,000 a year for 4 years, but you have to follow this stuff. We own everything you make while you work with us. I would go, okay, maybe. But then they kind of stipulated this. Well, we have some rights to your stuff in perpetuity. The only thing you have control over is your Facebook and Twitter. But you really, really have to make sure that you don't get in trouble. And then you have to do like 7 ad reads per show. I'd go, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that.
That's what the lawyer's for. That's what the negotiation is for. You know, the back and the forth. I mean, obviously, Daily Wire's got no interest in an opening offer to ask for anything other than the moon and expect the mountains, right? You aim for the moon, you hope to hit the mountains. That's kind of how these things go, and both sides have to do it. If Crowder had participated in at least one round of negotiations and Daily Wire said, no, these restrictions on your movements, your attitude, or these whatever are non-negotiable, then he might have some footing to make some kind of complaint. Not necessarily the way that he did it, but there has to be at least a good faith sharing of objections first. He just threw out the baby with the bathwater in the first round and just said, okay, now you guys are the bad guys, and then recorded them surreptitiously and everything else. Yeah, he may have had a point if he'd given it at least one round of what is the line that Daily Wire is not willing to cross. Then you might have an argument for this is something that Daily Wire really needs to change on behalf of any future content creators. That might be a point, but he didn't do that.
I feel like it was an incredible misstep on his part.
Yes.
To come out and blast the contract publicly.
Yeah, no, he should have done that.
That was an incredible. You run the risk of somebody doing that when you give somebody a contract, especially a public personality. But I think it looks incredibly bad, and it just ensures that no one is going to really want to try to work with you to begin with.
Well, it's like sharing somebody's DMs under the belief that this is a, back channel, private conversation, business negotiation that's not necessarily meant for public consumption. Now, obviously, Steven's not under, as far as I know, any legal liability because there's no NDA for the course of the negotiations. Maybe now, from now into the future, Daily Wire will require that of anybody they approach about an offer and say, sign this first before we engage in negotiations.
Ed in the chat has a really good point. The sick day stuff was super dishonest too. That was worded incredibly poorly. Like you have, it said you had to do this within 4 days out of a 5-day week, so you only have 1 day to make it up. But Jeremy Boring came out and he's like, well, he has 100-something days a year to make up any day that he misses. It's like, well, you didn't really say that. That's not what that said at all, actually.
Yeah, there was a couple of spots in there where I was a little uncertain about whether or not Jeremy was being genuine in his interpretation of the language. But again, I'm a layman. I'm not a lawyer, and I wasn't pausing the video and reading through every line. But at the same time, yeah.
Good.
I was going to say this is why the opening offer is the worst possible example to use, because it hasn't gone through any negotiation, any refinement. It's a first draft, and that to me, I'm an English major. It's the one time where I thought to myself, as an English major, I mean, if I take somebody's first draft of something, I expect there to be errors and plot holes and this, that, and the other. That's why you have revision. So to say that the opening offer is the perfect end-all, be-all, final version of thing, nobody in their right mind would expect that. But it seems like Steven took that as the last word. I
feel like if they came at him with 100 million instead of 50 million, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Maybe, probably. I mean,
Crowder is a snitch and the Daily Wire is a bitch. Oh, the Daily Wire is absolutely being a bitch about this. Candace Owens coming out and making everything like 10 times worse.
Well, here's my question about that, is that so Jeremy Boring's statement was about as official from the top as you can get. If he was being honest when he was talking about, the control over other commentators' output, as he was when he talked about Steven, can Candace Owen be held as speaking for the company, or was she just speaking for herself and not as a spokesman for Daily Wire? That's the one thing I was curious about.
100%, it doesn't really matter, because her coming out on Timcast that night and making a complete ass of herself, kind of makes the whole company look bad.
I guess that's the double-edged sword of having like some very outspoken creators and also providing them freedom to say what they want to say might also as well kind of shoot you in the foot.
Well, and Candace Owens is kind of a snake, I guess would be the right word for it. She is, I think Candace is the griftiest grifter to ever grift.
I was always surprised. I mean, I like I said, I haven't been paying attention to all this for that long, but I was always surprised that she was given any kind of job or employment of legitimacy, given just how opportunistic and malleable her viewpoints and attitude has been since she first came on the scene.
Oh, and she had that doxing site forever, and everyone just seems to have forgotten about it, except for like 6 people.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, but at the same time, this just shows sort of like, I guess, the economic pragmatism of Daily Wire. She brings in views, she brings in money. Well, okay. And that's, at the end of the day, if that's all that matters. So
I'm also curious how they would have navigated the fact that Crowder is already demonetized coming in to the situation.
Yeah. Well, like I say, how did they assume? I would love to know the thinking behind this. Like, okay, how do you figure that the opening bid for Crowder is 50 million? You're obviously not going to go lower than that. You can't backtrack after you made that opening offer. So if the opening offer is 50 million, how did they arrive at that valuation of his talent? Now, I don't know. Something's only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for it. It's all very subjective. But in the calculus of a business like the Daily Wire, who's gone through these things multiple times, who, as far as I understood from what Jeremy was saying, they were offering Crowder more money than anyone else as far as talent they've ever approached before. What about Crowder said, first stop is 50 million? That's the one part that after everything else. Why is that the opening bid?
a blind guess after looking at his YouTube numbers, knowing that he has the Mug Club and all that shit. They had to look at his YouTube numbers, what he pulls on viewers and all that stuff. It just had to be a shot in the dark. I have no idea. Both sides are acting the Mickey over the years. I've learned that the AAA dudes and guests are some of the most decent dudes online. I give you guys money for a reason. Hit that like button. Thank you, Metalbeard, for $1. And that's the thing. When it comes down to stuff like this, I try to be as transparent as I possibly can, because I wouldn't be here without you guys. But if somebody handed me a contract and went, hey, we want to discuss this, that, and the third, we want you on this, you'd have to do this, that, and that, I wouldn't come right out and just like photocopy the contract and put it live. That's personal.
Right. And it's also a draft. It's also a working draft. It's not the, I just, now I don't know much about the Mug Club. Do you know how the Mug Club works for my own edification?
I think it's $100 a year. You get a little plastic cup and you just pay it like a membership thing. I think you get some exclusive content.
It's like a sort of a self-run Patreon kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got confirmed like some hundreds of thousands of Mug Club subscribers.
Something like that. I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it was 30,000 they figured out.
Okay. So 30,000. So yeah.
300,000, something like that.
Yeah. If they could project like, okay, your Mug Club plus our reach and advertising arm and everything else, multiply that, and still 50 million? I don't know, man.
And you know what?
He might be making money.
He might be making double that a year on his Mug Club, which is perfectly acceptable.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But still, you can probably get that number quadrupled in a little bit of negotiation. That, like, if they're putting 50 mil down, they have deeper pockets than that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understood some of what Jeremy's concerns were as I was listening to him. And again, obviously I don't know everything. So if Jeremy was holding something back or being disingenuous, I can only guess. But he was like, these conditions are in here because you have to make money for us to make money to justify your paycheck, which is completely reasonable. I mean, all of that, just as basic economics, completely reasonable. It's not like we're going to pay you for nothing. If something happens beyond your control, we're not going to hold you at personal fault for it, but just the cold equations of it are, if you get demonetized on every platform where we're attempting to monetize you, we're making less, you have to make less, just because we're conceivably paying you out of what we're trying to monetize elsewise.
Right.
And so all that made sense to me. Now, again, the specific terms of the sheet, it's a draft. It's a draft. That now you could read into what Daily Wire was trying to, like, if you thought that was Daily Wire's final offer, if you really believe that was their final offer, that's all they were looking for, and they weren't going to let anything else go, and you had some reason to believe that, okay. But again, unless he's lying, he's just like, okay, this is how negotiations work. We give out our first draft. You and your lawyers take a look at it, and you send back some changes or some concerns, and we work together towards finding a happy middle.
Right.
What's wrong with that? I mean, and if the final offer is still something you don't like, well, then reject it. But don't like throw it out as dirty laundry in the middle of everything before anything's happened, as though there's been an equal exchange in good faith, because there hasn't been.
I do think part of this is him trying to build up his own personal brand that he's going to try to start. I guarantee you that's coming down the pipeline. So he's using this as kind of like a jumping post. But are you really willing to shoot yourself in the foot with people you've called friends for years just to kind of build yourself up a little bit? Even if there was a contract negotiation, that has to factor in your thinking somewhere, I would think.
Well, did you see, I forget, Monkey put out, did a stream last night about the timing of the recorded phone call versus when certain URLs were registered. Did you hear about that?
I have. Ham and Bean said that earlier.
Yeah, there's this whole thing about the date on which the big con was registered versus when the next phone call. I don't know all the details, guys. I'm not going to go over it, but just I remember reading over the timeline of things. Very suspicious. There's very little doubt in my mind that all of this was orchestrated, that Crowder in some way, shape, or form, now whether he's successful at it or not, who knows, but is using this self-initiated controversy as one big free advertising campaign. Because, plenty of, even here on the AAA, we're talking about it. We're not getting paid by Crowder or Daily Wire to talk about them. Yeah, he's raising his profile using controversy is the suspicion, engineered through all of this timing and registering the URLs for the big con and so on. So yeah, no, him getting ready to make a big splash with something he's putting together. But if that is the case, if he's just sort of orchestrating this in preparation for offering his own platform or some new upgrade to his show or whatever, the fact that he's willing to burn decades-long friends and allies in the industry and in his political side of things for the sake of it, I mean, whatever else might have happened with the whole tantrum thing, even if he handled it in a professional manner, that's pretty cold if it's true. That's pretty cold.
I think this whole drama boils down to a battle of egos and subsequent bruised egos. I think so too. And someone in the chat just said something pretty good. Isn't Crowder asking for more than what Joe Rogan got for his deal? No. Joe Rogan gets $50 million a year from Spotify. Yeah. Crowder's was $50 million over 4 years.
Right.
When he has, I think, 30% of the viewership that Rogan gets, so you're 25 to 30, you're in the ballpark, money-wise. You're there. You just got to tweak it a little bit. But
yeah, if you're the conservative Joe Rogan, then I suppose, yeah, you could probably.
But yeah, like you're there in the numbers. You're in the ballpark. You just have to like tweak it, add a little bit, do this, that, and the third. I really feel like if this was a different number handed to him, we probably wouldn't hear about this. And I don't care what anybody says. I reject the whole big conservative thing. Crowder is not a champion of the conservative movement. If he is, we have picked a poor champion. I don't think he represents the conservative movement as a whole. He talked a lot about what he wasn't allowed to talk about, but when was the last time Crowder talked about BlackRock or Pfizer or stuff like that? Probably not in a long time, if ever.
Yeah.
So I reject...
Sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, if he wasn't elected to the position, he doesn't represent anybody but himself. That's about it. It's just like with everybody else.
Exactly. I feel like I reject the whole big conservative thing outright. He worked for Glenn Beck. He is still on YouTube. But so yeah, that whole thing that just doesn't wash in my head. That whole thing just doesn't make sense.
Didn't he start? Am I wrong in saying he started like a PJ Media or something back in the olden days?
Oh yeah, that's old.
Okay, all right, yeah. Because no, I mean like I said, I'm not a big Crowder fan, but obviously he's in the sphere of things, and I've heard about him. I don't think I've ever watched an entire episode of his content. But certainly I became aware of him after the whole Carlos Maza thing and that that incident's relation to you and your fortunes. Yeah, anyway, I don't have anything else to say. I just wanted to bring up the whole part about like how do you evaluate Crowder's worth to 50 million and the whole, yeah. I mean, this is, but the other thing, and just this is a side thing, being that I'm not a Crowder fan or a Daily Wire viewer or anything else, on the periphery, just watching the entire, like, I don't know what you want to call it, the movement eat themselves from within over this. The tribalism that suddenly busts up as though it were somebody who accused somebody on the left of not being feminist enough or whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean,
it is very funny.
It's funny to watch because nobody is immune to this kind of ideological litmus test of who's the best conservative or whatever. Which, you know, again, it's a distraction. It doesn't affect the world at large or anything, but it's still kind of entertaining. Right.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you for popping on. I appreciate it. I will point you, if you are still interested in learning about this a little bit, to Nick Rekieta's streams he did on this over the past couple of days. They are very informative. He pauses it and takes a look at the contract, goes over line by line about the other stuff. It's pretty good.
Cool. I'll check it out. Thanks for having me on, Sinatra.
Absolutely.
Everybody have a good rest of your Friday and weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Guys, please go make sure you subscribe. If he's still listening, if you're out there, subscribe, please put your stuff in the chat so people can sub to you. So, yeah, that's my takeaway on this. I think that this is, I think this is just people acting like babies because they didn't get their way. The Daily Wire has taken literally every possible misstep that they could in the damage control of this. They didn't have to say a fucking word about this. They didn't have to say a word. I don't think Crowder said it was the Daily Wire. They could have kept their mouth shut and nobody would have known. But I also think Crowder went about it poorly. There is nobody here that looks especially good unless you literally only frame it as Crowder is doing this to protect small and upcoming YouTubers from predatory contracts. That is the only way that you can possibly make it look good. That is the only way. Scribe is a true bro. Oh, Scribe indeed is a true bro. Anyway, let's take a look at that ratio. We haven't even touched news. We have over 140 people watching on the Silent Sin channel and 91 likes. Bad math. 100 people watching on the Sinatra Screams channel and 40 likes. Worse math. Guys, smash that like button. Share it out on your social media. And if you feel so inclined, please do hit up the Streamlabs down below. I'm the only host here tonight, so fuck those other guys. Fuck them sideways. Thank you, Ham and Beans and Valine, for putting Scribe's link in the chat. That guy is criminally undersubbed. And we do have a couple new donations down below, if you want to check those off. If anybody feels like joining the Stacker Club, we have a new Pink Salmon song. And I gotta tell you, every single time I get a new song from Pinky, I am more and more blown away by the stuff that she gives me. I am never disappointed by a Pinky song. It's just fantastic. It had leaked that it was the Daily Wire. Oh boy. Jeez. Did you see the Bees' response to this? The Bees. The Bees? I don't know what that means. There he is. There you go. Boy, oh boy. Yes. Wouldn't have asked if I didn't. Destiny isn't as far left as you think. And I said this last night. What we need on the right wing is we need a Jimmy Dore. We need a Jimmy Dore on the right. Because Jimmy Dore is just incredible with what he does. The guy breathes fire. The guy is virtually untouchable with some of the stuff he says. I feel like we need a Jimmy Dore on the right. And I don't know if I have the energy to be that guy. I try to be, but I don't know if I have the energy to be that guy. I don't think I got it in me. But what can you do? What can you do? It is really interesting to see the two sides going back and forth on this issue. Okay, anyway, guys, let's get into the news. Please smash the like button. Please share it out on your social media if you feel so inclined. Please hit up the Streamlabs. It is greatly appreciated right now, as Sinatra is poor and could use the money. I need a Tulsi for my bedroom. Kumiya, Kumiya is good. Kumiya is very good. Another 2.5 billion wasted on Ukraine. I had that, but I tossed it. Or bluebies. Haha. Sinatra needs a $50 million contract. Well, I wouldn't. I'd at least hear them out. I'd at least hear what they got to say. I wouldn't turn around and blast them publicly for not giving me the right amount of money. I know that's for goddamn sure. All that ensures is that no one's going to come to me with a 500 million or 100 million. No one's going to come out to me with that if I turn around and blast this one publicly. Just change your name to Zelensky and you'll be bathing in money. Man, I fucking wish. I fucking wish. But save that. I don't need 2.5 billion. I just need a comma. Failing that, 100. Failing that, 30. Whatever you can give, I am Greatly appreciative for. So if you want to do that, all that's listed down below, all the different donations, etc., etc. Let's get to the schnews. Probably help if I open the screen up so people could see it. Bang. The GOP just proposed new restrictions on types of food eligible to be purchased with SNAP benefits, SNAP being food stamps, putting even more pressure on families with children. In addition, they would aim to keep families with more than one vehicle from receiving help. This is stupid. This is stupid. If you have more than one vehicle, you don't get to receive government aid. What if you have two working parents? What if it's two old beater vehicles? Now, I do agree with the fact that it is probably good to have restrictions on what can and can't be bought with food stamps the same way they do with WIC. Like if you want to cut out candy, pop, sugary cereal, shit like that, we can have this conversation. Mr. Alone for the 3278. This is a fart, not an opinion or a fact. It's just the truth about Crowder, Shapiro, Walsh, Red Pill Black, Timmy, and the rest of the bunch of shitheads. Just flush them away like California. I am pretty much on board with that. Pretty much on board with that. If you want to have the conversation that you cannot buy sugary cereal, candy, soda, all that kind of stuff with your food stamp benefits, that's fine. But if you really want to have the conversation that says no white grains, no baked or refried beans, no fresh meat, no sliced or cubed cheese, then you are fucked in the head. We should be encouraging people to have beans and fresh meats. What the fuck do you mean no fresh meats? If somebody gets, I don't know what food stamps, somebody gets $200 a month in food stamps and they choose to spend a quarter of that on 2 ribeyes, that's their issue about being stupid. That's their money being wasted. But to say they can only have canned tuna or canned salmon or Spam, what are you, out of your fucking mind? Yeah, here, eat the most processed food you possibly can. Shut up. No, this is stupid. This is so stupid. It's retarded. This whole thing is retarded. No beans and no fresh meat. Sliced, cubed, or crumbled. You're right. If somebody gets $200 a month in food stamps and they choose to waste all of it on one meal of steak and crumbled fucking cheese, then that's their problem. It's not the government's problem. Don't give them more. If you want to, again, have the conversation about restricting soda, candy, sugary stuff, snack cakes, shit like that. That is a conversation I feel like we could have. This is just fucking idiocy. This is idiocy to the nth degree. And I feel like this was made completely seriously too. I get about $700 a month for 3 people. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. Let's take a look at this. Let's deep dive into this a little bit. No more sliced cheese. White rice under proposed Iowa SNAP bill. The restrictions: no whole grains, no fresh meats, no sliced, cube, or crumbled cheese. No American cheese. No what kind of cheese then? First off, American cheese is shit. Get cheddar if you're going to do it. But what does this mean? No American cheese. You can only purchase 100% whole wheat bread, brown rice, and 100% whole wheat pasta. Whole wheat pasta is fucking dog shit. This is virtue signaling to the retard right. I feel like even most right-wingers would look at this and go, that is complete stupidity. People need fresh meat. People need ground beef. They need chicken breast. They need this shit. Stupid. If you want to make the cheese whiz argument, I'm here for it, but the thing that fresh meats is to prevent the reselling of goods bought with food stamps. Well, can't you resell any of this? I feel like anything bought with food stamps is resellable. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Pack a lunch for your kid that can't get sliced cheese and deli meat? Yeah, where does deli meat fall on this? Is that under a fresh meat? Here, have your whole wheat bread and butter sandwich, you little ingrate. Your bread and whole wheat pasta sandwich. Get nasty logs of Velveeta and slice it yourself like a peasant. This is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. I cannot believe that somebody actually read this and go, perfect, let's put it forward. This is exactly what we need right now. Alec Baldwin to be charged with manslaughter for the shooting on set of Rust. They're charging him with manslaughter. I was not expecting this. I did not see this one coming. Actor Alec Baldwin and weapons specialist. Do they have a picture of the fucking dummy? No. Nope, apparently not. Oh! Ernica for the big 50. Here's $1 for every million I would have given Drunkle if he were here. Thank you, Ertica. Let me take a drink of my drink on that one. I need something a little bit stronger. I was not expecting to be flying alone today. I just have coffee right now, but can we get a big thank you to Ertica for the very generous donation right there? That is fantastic. There's a manslaughter for the fatal shooting of cinematographer in a New Mexico movie set. Prosecutors announced Thursday they're citing criminal discharge. That sounds like a good porn name. Criminal discharge for safety. Santa Fe attorney Mary Carmack issued a statement announcing the charges against Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who supervised the weapon on the set of Rust. What's her face? Helena Hutchins died shortly after being wounded during rehearsals at a ranch in the outskirts of Santa Fe. Is that all we already know all this? What? Glenn, what is... the producer, the set... Oh, here we go. The set was really being run fast and loose. He knew he should have known that there had been misfires and that there were concerns about safety. Multiple people had brought him up. The fact that Baldwin was an actor that held the gun, pointed at the gun to the camera, and pulled the trigger also contributed. Really? The fact that he shot the gun that killed the woman contributed to this? That is insane. That I never would have guessed that he would be held responsible if he was the one who did the shooting. And it was self-defense. There are rules to this kind of stuff, guys. I'm sure all of you know. Anybody who has a passing familiarity with guns knows that there are rules to when someone hands you a gun, you check it, all this kind of stuff. You know that. And this whole thing being Alec Baldwin's movie that he was producing, that he was in charge of, that he was the boss of, it all kind of does fall to him and the woman who is in charge of the firearms. There is no way they'll convict. I don't think Alec intentionally shot and killed this woman. And I think intent matters a lot in a situation like this. But you can be driving, someone steps out in front of your car, you are still responsible for the fact that you hit this person who just walked out right in front of you. And I feel like there is going to be some hell to pay for this, but he's not going to go to jail. He's not going to go to jail. Always assume it's loaded. Always check it. The producer, top bill. Yeah. Yep. I had this one for Drunkle, but you know what? Yeah, let's watch it anyway.
I'm gonna show you how to make my Louisiana Cajun potato soup. Let's go. Go ahead, 1 pound of bacon, y'all. 2 pounds.
What is that accent? What the fuck is that accent?
Of smoked sausage. The bacon's done, and that sausage brown, go ahead on, put that in a separate bowl right quick. Go ahead on and leave that grease behind. Gently put that butter up off and that...
Is that New Orleans?
Grease right down.
Look at this British guy losing his mind about food having flavor. A Creole, yeah.
Y'all, an onion and a half. 2 spoons of that minced garlic. Half a cup of that all-purpose flour. All right, y'all, 10 cubed up potatoes. Go up in there with it. 48 ounces of that chicken broth. 1 cup of that heavy whipping cream, y'all. 3 cups of that whole milk now. Go with your garlic powder, onion powder.
Look at this. This British dude is absolutely losing his fucking mind about American food having flavor.
Hit it with my Cajun seasoning now. Hit it with that black pepper, y'all. And some dry parsley. Go ahead with that salt to taste. I'm gonna cover them up till they fork tender. Alright, y'all, smash up about 3 or 4 of them potatoes now that they fork tender. Add that bacon and sausage up in there now. Half a cup of green onion. Go ahead and let it cook for 30 more minutes now. Alright, y'all, check it out.
That looks fucking delicious. I am starving. I love the caption of this. I hate British people with a deep burning passion. Yeah, I don't blame you. What? Their food is flavored with hopes and water. Shut fucking idiots. I'm checking that ratio. 160 on the Silent Sin, 108 and 100 on the Sinatra Screams, and 55. Guys, smash that like button, share it out, put it on your social media, put it in your Discords, put it on your Facebook, your AIM, your Meebo, all your different sites, and make sure you are on the Silent Sin channel. And if you feel so inclined, please do hit up that Streamlabs. It is greatly appreciated. And if you know what, if we can get to goal, oh damn it, I didn't mean to click that. If we can get to the goal, which we're about a quarter of the way there, we can have a song regardless. We just have to hit the goal. They're making clones of the fucking STG-44. I don't know how much they're going to cost, but God bless do I want one. God bless do I want one. Oh! Dirty Cat Mechanic for the 50. Hey, buddy. Thanks for the show. Well, thank you, Dirty Cat Mechanic. That is very generous, sir. Much appreciated. Can we get a big thank you to Dirty Cat Mechanic out there? Greatly, greatly appreciated. I want one of these things so fucking bad. And these are going to be 223. They're not even going to be the shitty little 22s. They're going to be 223, 200 blackout. How awesome is that? Man. These I could give or take. I mean, I like those, but I want that STG so bad. They'll be fair with price as well, keeping the quality. I hope so. What would be a fair price for this? Soviet Arms, not the greatest brand. A fair price for an STG. I'd say $750. $750 is what I would count for a Soviet Arms STG clone. 700, 1700. What are they, out of their fucking mind? 2 in a compact, no slack. Fucking $1,700. Hell no. A Baba Yaga for the 2050. Hope this helps. Thank you for being you, Sin. I would definitely hire you over Crowder. Thank you, Baba Yaga and your Hebrew honkers. Much appreciated. Anything else, whether it's $1 or a comma, it all helps. Sin, do a game. You win, Ed. You win the game. Oh, boy.
And there's even been word in a new study that actually 100% of ATF agents have wives that have boyfriends. And this is consistent with previous dad advice. So...
I mean, it's all facts. It's just straight facts right there. Thank you, Call to Krill. Much appreciated, sir. Indiana police chief officer suspended after arresting council candidate thought to be anti-cop. Now, I read this article beforehand. Hello. Thank you. Get yourself ready. Get my jeans and my shirt out.
I'm going to take a shower. I'm not.
No, you're going to get it out for me. I snapped the fingers. I've read this article earlier, and this is a wild ride. This one is a wild ride. So the cop arrested this city council candidate on 2 charges that were trumped up. One, I forget what the charges were. One was a real charge and the other one was made up. They arrested him on the made up one. where is it? Oh, suspicion of rape and possession of marijuana. Which one was made up and which one was the real one? Well, the suspicion of rape was what they arrested him with. And the marijuana is what they caught him with after they raided his house based on suspicion of rape. And the only thing they had on the guy was he said he wasn't a real big fan of cops. That's all they had on him. They raided his house, blamed him for suspicion of rape. That charge later got dropped. And they suspended the cop who put all of this forward. This is nothing more than what's the word I'm looking for here? This is nothing more than overinflated ego bullying. They charged this guy with rape because the cop lied to the prosecutor so they could raid his house, found marijuana in the raid. That was, I should have made her give me a fucking beer while she was here. I can't get up. I'm by myself. God damn it. Found marijuana on the raid that they shouldn't have done and then arrested him for that. Then they dropped all the charges and the cop is suspended. This is insane to me. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. Exactly. Do you think she'll yell at me if I ask her to come? Can you come back and give me beer? Think she'll yell at me? I used to live in Indiana. Can't pay me to move back there. Worst days of my life. Jeez. Oh, this isn't what it's supposed to be. Where's the other fucking one I had? God damn it. I had a whole... Oh, I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up. I gotta find the video. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is why it's good to have co-hosts. Or at least a producer. Something, god damn it. Oh, here we go. Bing. Bong. Close. Pause.
That's flashing.
Pause. Okay, I'm going to let this video play and I'm going to go grab a beer.
That was pretty stupid, wasn't it? That's flashing your lights at everybody to let them know that law enforcement was sitting there running radar. Is that what I did? Is that a crime? Yeah. It is? I didn't know that. You got your license registration proof? Why would you do that? You're flashing your high beams at people to... In the daytime? Yeah. I didn't know that was a crime. It is legal to have flashing lights on your vehicle, not being an emergency vehicle. Huh? I said awesome.
So they're pulling this guy over for doing the, you know, the flash when there's a cop sitting on the side of the road.
Okay. And I could take you to jail today for your unsigned registration card.
Again, this is another trumped up, ego-driven cop trying to sound like a badass.
But I just wrote you a citation for that. That's actually up to 6 months in jail. You think it's funny, sir? I'll take the ticket, sir. I know, but do you think this is funny? I'm allowed to laugh. I could laugh all I want. Go ahead and step back here, sir.
Are you laughing at me, motherfucker? Well, watch this. Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me? What am I, a clown? Do I make you laugh? Unrelated, I'm so glad to have finished my final PT test today. And one of my Army careers in sight. Fuck the Fed. Bell, ding, 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 ding. And C. Thomas, the only thing to say about the upcoming STG 44 is shut up and take my money. I agree. I agree completely. Funny? No. Humorous? Yes. Every cop is someone who I assume peaked in high school. I can't disagree.
Sir, I'm asking you to step out the... Am I being detained? Yes, sir, you are. Step out the vehicle.
Listen to the change in his voice.
Go ahead and step out here, sir. Sir, I'm asking you to step out the... Am I being detained? Yes, sir, you are. Step out the vehicle.
Am I being detained? Yeah, you are, motherfucker. Get out of the vehicle.
Are you serious? Place your hands behind your back for me. Are you serious? Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. Oh, man, you're serious, brother. I'm not your brother.
I'm not your brother. I am not your brother.
You're not. Yeah, I'll never be your brother.
God, do you feel better saying that shit? I'll never be your brother. I'll never be your brother.
Never be your brother. Exactly. You'll never be my.
Do you feel better saying that? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel like more of a man? I'll never be your brother. I will never be your brother. So this guy actually had the charges stick. They dropped the charge about the unsigned registration, whatever that was. They dropped that one because it wouldn't stick. But the flashing lights charge stuck as a moving infraction, saying that he had flashing lights on his vehicles because he flashed his high beams. I read the whole article. It's stuck. What a fucking joke. What an absolute joke. He went to court. He fought it. He didn't get anything. He got nothing for the cop being a straight dickhead. But the charge stuck. Unbelievable. You know, nothing like a good power trip to start the day. Eating one portion of freshwater fish may expose you to toxic chemicals. Okay. I'm sure this is climate change in one way, shape, or form. Ex-SNL star talks MLK Jr.'s penis. Oh, we're not. No. Something is fishy. Fuck you. Where'd the backing track go? There's just no music here? It says muted. Why is it muted? Why is this so loud now? What the fuck? No, what? No. Sorry about that. I like fish. I don't know why people are just so against fish. But pickle jars for Hillary beat me to it. You know what doesn't have fucking toxins in it? Bugs. Anti-drunk driving technology could be in all new cars by 2026. I'm kind of torn on this. I'm kind of torn. I assume literally everybody has a sober friend somewhere nearby that could just blow for you, but how are you going to do this? What if they just don't buy new cars? I don't get how you're supposed to do this. I'm more of a beef kind of guy. Beef. And what about COVID? I'm sure this is bad for COVID. A donkey punch. I actually saw this one. The citation is improper due to the flashing lights in the legal code, specifically stating the colored lights on emergency vehicles exclude high beams. I'd peel the charge if I was him. He went to court for it and he lost. So I think they're just sticking it to him either way. I think they're just proving a point. It's just the prosecutor backing up a cop. That's all it really comes down to. If you call someone brother and they respond by saying, I'm not your brother, they're a fuckhead, 100% douchebag piece of shit, guaranteed. Yeah. All right, brother. I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother. He called me your brother. He's calling me his brother. I have to shoot him in self-defense. Absolute douchebags. Has anybody noticed, and I bring this up every time, and I'm going to continue to do so. Has anybody noticed this, the complete stop of all anti-cop articles on left-wing media sites? Just the whole thing stopped. No more ACAP movement. No more racist cop killings. All of that just stopped completely. Am I the only one that finds that a little bit weird? And I might be getting a little conspiratorial, but it's certainly interesting to me that they all stop right after the great expulsion of unjabbed cops. I was putting it out there. Anyway, Greta Thunberg got arrested.
Wie sieht's denn aus mit der Abfahrtsstraße?
Hey, can you smile, please? Can you tilt your head a little bit to the left when we pick you up? Make sure you don't wince too much. Sin, you need to add the slabs link to the description. It is in the pinned comment in the chat. I cannot put it in the description. But yeah, the whole Greta Thunberg being arrested thing was staged. After this video came out, it disappeared from the trending list. They're just pretending it didn't happen now. It's just, it didn't happen. And I will never not bring up the fact that she flies on a private jet to every event she goes to. But if you're so worried about climate change, people should drink less coffee to combat climate change, a study says. Canadian researchers analyzed coffee's contribution to climate change in a piece published in early January, suggested people moderate the consumption of the popular drink as part of the solution. I'm just going to finish my coffee right now. My cup of coffee is not doing shit compared to Al Gore and John Kerry's private jet flying internationally to climate change. I will not take a single finger's breadth of climate change activism seriously until we can honestly talk about the fact that these people fly on private fucking jets to meetings internationally and across the country. I am gonna laugh and point and heckle every single person that tells me, you should stop drinking coffee. You should stop driving a truck. You should do this, that, and the third, until somebody can actually prove to me that me drinking coffee and driving a truck has anything to do with, has anything within orders of magnitude close to the emissions from their private jets. I'm not interested. I'm not fucking interested in it. Those articles stopped being the one. What? Those articles stopped because the ones writing them had to take a break to scratch a terrible itch on the big. C. Thomas. Greta's big arrest staged as fuck, but hey, gotta find a way to keep the irrelevant similar rules for thee, but never for me. Exactly. None of those things are ruining the environment, but they don't want to talk about the biggest contributors to pollution Earth are. Until they can honestly say China, India are spewing metric tons more than any other country. Tons of tons. Is that the right word? Cubed tons more than any other country in the world, until they can honestly talk about the fact that flying on private jets to a meeting on the other side of the state is contributing more than me or you having a cup of coffee and driving their vehicle to and fro work. Until this is an honest conversation that can be had, I am not interested in anything these people have to say. Especially when it comes to something so fucking stupid as gas stoves. A gas stove study cooked up as heart health scare. This is not the fucking article I had. Oh, this was the article. A study published in 2022. That is not the article. What the shit? Did they remove it? No, it says 2022. That clearly says 2023 right there. So, about a week ago, gas stoves linked to asthma in children. I am not getting rid of my gas top stove. Most importantly, because I can't afford a fucking new one. And second off, I like the way the meat cooks on it.
Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most infamous man-made disasters. Number 1.
The 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the one that guaranteed women the right to vote, was ratified in 1920.
You can have my coffee when you take it from my hot ceramic mug. Thank you, Grinding the Axe. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in it. I am not interested in this at all. And it says right there, 2023. It says it right there. Guys, I don't know who needs to hear this, but gas stoves are not killing you. It's just not doing it. But it's not going to stop Democrat-led cities moving forward with banning the gas stoves that will affect millions. A former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said in 2021, the city could ban natural gas, and any city can do the same. Guys, you cannot ban the second single largest energy thing. You just cannot do it. You can't. You cannot ban natural gas. All right, so have you guys... Okay, one thing at a time. I had someone who believes the climate change stuff told me you should stop driving your car and ride a bike to work. I live in the middle of nowhere, about 40 minutes on a bike. Yeah, no, I'd rather keep my car. That's the thing. Whenever I hear people in England talk about this kind of stuff, or people in Europe in general, they live within walking distance of their workplace. They don't, everything around them is within walking distance. We're not that small of a country here. Unless you live in a city, work down the street, and do any of that kind of stuff. We're just too big. America is too big. England is roughly the size of Ohio, with like 4 times as many people shoved in that little space. We are just too big. It's unfeasible. But no, you cannot just ban the second largest energy production thing. You just can't do it. Have you guys heard what's happening in Peru? The protests and all that shit happening in Peru. Are you guys aware of this? They are like they are a hair away from overthrowing the entire government in Peru. Because people are starving. They have no gas. They have no food. Pay attention. When I lived in Northern Virginia, I walked everywhere. It was nice. Now I drive everywhere in my Escalade. Oh, man, I want an Escalade. An Escalade. Takes me 30 minutes to get to town. Yeah, some people live out in the sticks. Some people are not close. You're looking at it the wrong way. Look at it. Oh, I did have the article. Boop, boop. You're looking at it the wrong way. Look at it like you want the country to fail. Banning natural gas is a step in the right direction. I guess I might be naive in doing this, but I assume that most people don't want the country to be torn apart. And maybe that's just me being naive. Maybe that's just me being optimistic, because that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to see the country torn apart. I don't want to see I don't want to see I love America. I love the USA. I don't want to see it torn apart. I don't want to see it destroyed. And I assume other people feel the same way, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that one. I don't know. I think go door to door to find gas stoves with 20 million illegals that identify. Yeah. Yep. I live 40 to 50 minutes away from everything. It's just unrealistic. It is unrealistic. But here is Al Gore, who looks like Al Gore ate Al Gore. Listen to what he has to say at the WEF.
Enough already. Enough. And I don't want to get sidetracked onto what needs to happen, but we need to scale up climate finance, but we need desperately to scale down anti-climate finance.
Anti-climate finance. I assume that has to mean the fossil fuel. Oh, yeah, it says it right there. Fossil fuel industry.
And we are still subsidizing the burning of fossil fuels globally at a rate 42 times larger than the subsidies for the shift toward renewables and EVs, et cetera. We need new leadership at the World Bank. We need them to scale up the leverage and vastly increase the amounts that are committed. And we need to rein in the anti-climate activities of the fossil industry.
Okay, go tell this to China, first off. Second off, how come, and I will say this every single time, why does nobody honestly talk about nuclear energy as a renewable resource? It is literally the perfect renewable resource. It's the perfect one. There is nothing better than nuclear energy. But nobody talks about it. Climate debates are boring as fuck. I agree. And that's how you know. That's how you know these people are not being honest about it, because they don't talk about nuclear. There's just no interest in it. Right on points in. I mean, even my one friend lives in the Netherlands, has a car, to be fair. He says his work is about 45 minutes away, and he lives closer to farmland than the city's Netherlands, so it's easier than riding public transport. I always assume driving is easier than public transport. Or even hydroelectric. Yeah, fair. My thought on the gas stove ban is this. Sure, ban gas stoves and shift to electric. However, these dimwits never had an alternative beyond we are working on it eventually. Also, fuck Al Gore and the WEF. Yes, agree completely there. And I had an article that Gamer Valine sent me about a smaller nuclear reactor that was just patented, but and again, you just can't. We're not talking about it. We're not considering it seriously. The thing about the gas stoves is they will eventually be pushed out by electric stoves due to progress. Just look at TVs, for example. I see no one with a fat TV anymore. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. It's fine, but the government doesn't need to... Is the government going to subsidize me getting a brand new electric stove? I have a gas stove. My mom has a gas stove. Everybody I know at their house has a gas stove. Is the government going to subsidize this if they ban it, or are they just going to go, well, you just don't get to cook? Save up a couple grand and buy yourself a good stove. We're going to take this one. Chefs tend to prefer gas. They'll phase out with time. The ban just won't happen. I agree. It just cannot happen. And I'm not a chef, but I do a lot of cooking, and I much prefer a gas stove. I think it just cooks the food better. The Biden administration argues CDC has the right to require masks again, and they're taking it to court. I mean, we just did the article last week that they have declared that COVID is a national health emergency for the third year in a row, and now they are going to court to fight for masks to come back. I feel like this is a losing argument. I feel like this is a losing argument and that you really just need to let it go. Nobody wants to wear masks. People are over the COVID stuff. That's just it. That's another really good point. In winter, the power goes off, gas still works, electric does not. That is a great point. I think somebody said that on Tuesday during Tucker, that a lot of people, when the power outages hit during the really big storm, that they kept the house warm with their gas stove because it still works. You just need you need something with a click, click, a spark. You need just something there. The loads. Why do I have the loads? 20 minutes to work, then I have to pick up my trailer and drive 20 to 30 miles to location, then reverse at the end of the day. I can't do that on a bike or in an EV. If they ever figure out how the hell to get the Tesla Cybertruck working, you could probably do it with that, but it's probably going to go the way of the Roadster. They just cannot figure out how to get the weight of the battery to the torque of the truck that they need. And here's the thing, I'm not against EVs at all. I think EVs are neat, they're dope, they're not saving the climate. They have to be driven like 100-something thousand miles before they become climate neutral. But they're cool. And I like cool shit. That's all it comes out. That's my entire take on EVs. They're cool and I like cool shit, but I couldn't afford one and I'm never buying one. Unless somebody gives me a Cybertruck, then I drive the shit out of that. The battery won't last that long. Well, that's the issue they're having right now, is trying to figure out how to put more torque into the battery, because the battery is so damn heavy. And a lot of people learned this year that in the cold, the battery sucks even more. How are they going to tell every restaurant to go electric? It's impossible. It's an entire infrastructure overhaul to do that. It's an entire infrastructure overhaul. But yep, they're taking the fight back to court. And listen to this, dude. A breaking point. I know what this is, but I just don't remember right now. With Crystal and Sagir.
People don't like our institutions for good reason. So for them to say, these same assholes who've been lying to me all along are now going to tell me to do some shit for my own well-being and force something into my body? Hell the fuck no. And so I hear that and I'm like, yeah, you got a point. Now, this just so happens to be an instance where it's like, yeah, I know they've been wrong 1,000 times, and I know you shouldn't trust them, and you shouldn't, and you should be skeptical, but this is a rare instance where they're actually 100% correct that this would help you, so you should...
I know we've lied to you 1,000 times, but now is the rare instance where I'm telling you the truth. And you need to listen to me because I said so. That is Crystal Ball. Are you serious? Whoo, she got old. Just trust us this one more time. Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Anyone thinks EV are environmentally friendly at all needs to look at Cobalt Mine. Yeah, no, EVs are not remotely environmentally friendly. Not even a little bit. They're just simply not. I'm wondering at one point I can just close out Discord because it's for some reason really... Oh, geez, sorry. It's for some reason really draining on my CPU, and I don't think my co-hosts are showing up. But speaking of just trust them, here are the people we should just trust. Again, WEF.
You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be multiple. There'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure. And many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries don't have that. You need to know who's...
So we need to make a digital database to monitor who is vaccinated. Hold on a second. Since when has the WEF started making these decisions? Period, I guess would be the word. The full stop. This, I don't like it. I don't like it. No, Viper. He said that he might not be here tonight, so it's fine. I'm just worried how long should I keep Discord open? I know Drunkle probably won't be here, which it's fine. But it's taxing the shit out of my CPU for some reason. Let me just try relaunching it. Maybe it's just being fucky. It's certainly possible. It's too late for nuclear power. We need to start building power plants like 20 years ago. Oh yeah, dude, it's way too late. I bought Tesla stock when it tanked. Elon's retarded, but that stock is going up for sure. I don't know, man. I sold... Oh, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. We'll get into it a little bit, but I got an interesting letter from Amazon and from Cash App. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I wonder if anybody else got it too. But if you don't mask up and you don't vaccinate, this is how you're going to end up. I cannot play the video for obvious reasons. But in Canada, Stephanie Werner died after being choked by security in a hospital for having her mask too low. They'll just choke you out. Just kill you. I mean, it is Canada. So clearly that's their only option is to just kill you. But they killed her. She died due to restraint asphyxia following a struggle and exertion. Mask too low, straight to death. I'm laughing, but it's really not fucking funny. It is super not funny, but I'm laughing either way because it's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. And I seriously started having the thought in my head, at what point do we consider annexation of Canada to be a good thing? Good evening, gentlemen. Thought I'd pop in for a bit. Like before enjoying the might with my friend brother for 3 evening. All right, Griselda, thank you. Annex from what? From them. Annex Canada from Canada. We just take it away. We'll make it... There's what, 5 provinces in Canada? We'll make that the 51st through 50th state. We will have the biggest landmass in the world. We'll have access to 3 oceans at any given time. It strategically makes sense. There's, what, 2 people armed in Canada? So it shouldn't be that hard to just take over. A 13 provinces? I thought there were 5. What the hell's wrong with me? I guess if Putin can just invade sovereign nations and take shit, we can too. I mean, we have been. We have been. We're the originators. Canada is just a polite North Korea? I wouldn't go that far. No, if we annex Canada, we'd just be adding a new California. Oh, true. Well, we can ship. We can do a trade. Anybody who wants to get out of California can go to New California. No, there's something there. We have to work it out a little bit. The right time to do it is not 7 a.m. severely undercaffeinated drinking a beer and an energy drink. But it is a good time. Not the best, but it is a good time. Anyway, F for that bitch. Let's take a look at the thing. Is this Alan Dershowitz, the guy who has been pretty much successfully expelled from any Fox News thing. He used to be on a lot, from what I remember. But listen to this crazy shit.
You have no right not to be vaccinated.
You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right to make healthcare decisions for yourself. Does that sound familiar?
You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you?
You have no right not to open up your business.
Yeah.
No right not to be vaccinated, meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into you. You have no...
I am very happy Alan Dershowitz is largely ignored. Because if anybody took that statement seriously, that is just insane. That is just insane. The state has the right to take you to a doctor's office and they can plunge a needle in your arm. No, they most certainly do not. Not even progressives are saying that. Well, I know Alan Dershowitz is an outlier. This is an incredibly fringe and extremist opinion. But this would literally be an act of war if somebody put this into effect. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the loads. Pfizer and Fauci staffers sign off on research finding that the produce worse antibodies. So this is why everybody ended up getting sick. It produces worse antibodies than the actual virus. There's something to think about. Okay, now we get to make fun of Biden. Now the angry stuff is done. Now we just get to now we get to have a little bit of fun. Let me check those ratios though. 165 watching on the silent sin. Holy shit, guys. Thank you so much. And 124 likes, guys. Smash that like button. Share it out on your social media. And please, if you feel so inclined, make your way over to the Silent Sin. And over 100, or about 100 watching on the Sinatra Screams channel with 72 likes, guys. Ooh, Polydub. Polydub's in the chat. All right, let me pop Discord back open. I closed it because it was being a resource hog. Piece of shit, Discord. Oh, making my way over to Discord. Jumping fast, going in to join Poly. And I'm here now. And I'm in Discord. All right. Remember Sheila Jackson Lee unironically put a bill that would criminalize free speech for white people? What the fuck are you talking about?
He actually did. Yeah, it's true.
What?
Yeah.
How did I not hear about this?
It was criminalizing. Okay. It wasn't being white. It was a speech that, or excuse me. it criminalized white hate so bad because it was so vague that, yeah, being white in any kind of way. Like, if you talked to me and did something, if I cracked a joke to you and somebody felt offended and motivated to action because of it in any kind of way, we were both criminally liable.
What the fuck? And this was a serious thing put forward.
Yeah. Oh, she put forward the bill. You can read it. It's not that long.
All right, maybe we'll do that next time, because Scribe popped on like right as the show started, and we talked for like 40-something minutes about the Crowder contract, so we are exponentially far behind.
Fair enough.
Dershowitz is still using the Buck v. Bell for his reasoning for forced vaccinations. That decision allowed states to force abortions on women they found incompetent. That is bonkers. How you doing, Polly? What's going on?
Doing all right. I mean, not
sorry
as
I
bad
wasn't in the
as
Discord.
Crowder.
It was being a resource hog, so I just closed it. I figured nobody was showing up.
That's gay.
It was hog, because I keep my fucking...
I was in here alone for so long.
I closed it like 10 minutes ago.
No, it's been longer than 10 minutes, man.
Late night at work?
Yeah. I tell you the story, but who wants to hear it? No one. That's who.
I know you said something after the show Wednesday that you'd be working some extra stuff coming up, but it happens. It happens. IRL always comes first. That's why Drunkle is not here as well.
Oh, Drunkle was never here?
No. He just...
Oh, I figured he just went his 90 minutes and then... Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, see, Polly all alone. Sam Michael gets it. It was terrible. It was
Polly missed gun talk. He did. They're making a reproduction of the STG-44.
Really? Like, seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that new minigun meant to be strapped to planes, 50 BMG by Dylan?
I have not.
You know, like Dylan, like as in the people that make presses, Dylan?
Oh, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. You should see it. It's like a big old fucking pod gun. Looks like something out of Battletech. But it's the 50 BMG. Yeah. Gamer Valine turned me on to it. I wouldn't have even known of it.
You can just clip Gamer Valine turned him on. Valine hit me up with a bunch of articles before we got started.
Right.
But this stream is
No,
called...
I didn't say that. I just thought over that and worry. I said Gamer Valine turned me on to it. Not to her, not to sex, not to anything else. No.
I mean, you could still clip it.
No.
Now can I kill myself?
Sure.
You can.
Hey, fuck you! I want to die!
Yeah, I hear that. Doc, thank you for the $5. Miss Undergrad coming... Hold on. What the fuck? Miss Undergrad, come in and look for that A this early in the semester already. Wow. We're not allowed to close our office doors. It's department policy. No more of that going on. It's not 2018 anymore. Akira, thank you for the $2 from 19 minutes ago. 20-minute drive to work. Then I have to pull my cart to location 20, 30 miles away. Then reverse it all at the end of the day. Can't do that on a fucking bike or with an EV.
Trunkle was offered 50 mil by Daily Wire and bounced. And if he got offered that, I think I might actually fly to England and kick him right in the fucking balls. In Minecraft. English Minecraft.
Yeah.
Okay, let me...
877 cash no.
877 cash no.
877 cash no. 877 cash.
Glad I could help with the news. I'll look into Discord resource hogging and get you an answer offline. Dylan Arrow 503D is a Gatling gun. Also, they have the TAC 501 rifle from Dylan Rifle Company. I will take a look at that at a later point in time. But we have to look at some of these Biden clips because they are just unbelievable. I grow in amazement to see some of the stuff that happens here. Look at this.
And give everybody a fair shot that lives there. The same thing. And by the way, if you live in one of those neighborhoods and you have the same exact car I have in the other neighborhood.
What? Oh, I'm not sharing. My bad.
Yeah.
1 second.
I was just going to go back to the
restart
live
the clip.
stream, but if you want to, share it on Discord.
Is there
I guess
anything
we can do it
revealed
that way
at
too.
SHOT Show that want to get? Is there anything revealed at SHOT Show that want to get?
Is there anything you want from SHOT Show?
I mean, there's a lot
Sure.
of things that I want. I want a lot of things. A chat person offered me a deal on their camera. It's 4K, 30 FPS, 1080p at 60. Is this amazing camera? We wanted like $500 for it, and I just can't afford that right now. I want to get a bottle of Pappy 15. I want to be able to pay my bills and still have money left over at the end of the month. I want a lot of shit. God damn it!
And give everybody a fair shot that lives there. The same thing. And by the way, if you live in one of those neighborhoods and you have the same exact car I have in the other neighborhood, you pay more for your insurance than that side. No basis for it. None at all other than you're black.
Were you able to follow any of that?
Not by what he said, only by guesswork. I think I know what he meant.
It's like, yeah, you have to run that through a secondary filter in your head to figure out what he's talking about.
I've got
everybody a fair
Holly's
shot
Biden
that
subtitles on at all times, so I think I know what I read.
lives there. The same thing. And by the way, if you live in one of those neighborhoods and you have the same exact car I have in the other neighborhood, you pay more for your insurance than that side. No basis for it. None at all other than you're black.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying. I genuinely don't know.
You got the same
Sure?
car as me, you're paying more because you're black.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Like
It's not really it's not really because you're paying more because you're black. It's where you're living that you're paying more. It's just if you live there, you are statistically more likely to be black. So why are the insurance companies charging you more? The same reason, Sin, that they're charging me and you, or wait a minute, you and I more because
No,
we're men.
That's correct.
Fuck. One day I'll get it right. I don't know.
It has to make sense without the other person.
I always thought you put the other person for.
You do put the other person first, but it has to make sense without them. So you wouldn't say they're charging me more because of. I forgot what you said, but I wouldn't make sense. It would be me.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not an English major. I think Edinger was right. He mixed up
Neither am
black
I.
and poor again. Yeah, I think so. Biden doesn't know the difference between black and poor. I think that's accurate.
Same thing, am I right? They're so
Yeah,
poor.
jeez.
They're so black.
Oh, wait, I have that as a sound clip, actually. Where is
Nice.
it? Where are you?
Are so poor and they are so black, and this is going to raise lots of questions.
Oh, boy, I wish I could know how many audience. Yeah.
Okay, here, how about this? Us dudes are being charged more than a lady at the same age as us. Why? Because we're dudes and we're more statistically likely. If you live in the middle of a crime-ridden hellhole, they're going to charge you more for insurance. Just park your car if cars are more likely to be broken in that area. Now, if there happen to be a whole bunch of Hispanics there,
Can I
the
kill
insurance.
myself?
Yeah, if I lived a bunch of
Oh, my God.
Hey, fuck you! I want to die!
Doc, thank you for the fin. It's not because you're black.
Don't read
it's
it. Don't read
because
it. Don't
you're-
read it. Don't read it. Don't
Oh,
read it.
come on, that's good. That's funny.
It
I
is
just
good.
read it.
That's very good.
Come on, Doc. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, I have a new one at $8. I forgot about that. It's in there.
I'm going to shill the shit out of the 2776 because I think it's fucking adorable. And speaking of the
What's wrong with we
donations,
dudes, Joshua Montgomery?
we are 185 from goal, and we get a song on the goal. So that's a Witcher and 3 of the new donations, I believe. I'm just putting that out there.
Someone should have yelled at old man Biden. It'd be like, yeah, but if you move there, your insurance would be the same rate too. You know, it's not because you're black.
Reload. Okay, now I'll pull it back. Bang, bang. All right, we could skip that one. It's just John Kerry being a weirdo. Anyway, take a look at this guy.
No, John Kerry, really?
Yeah, take a look at this dude.
And I think the sophistication of the private sector is improving, and particularly important, the level of collaboration between. And I think the
what the shit. Fake Gamer Cat said, "Ugh, The Witcher would make my day." I think she meant it like, "Ugh, The Witcher would make my day," but she said, "Ugh." Either way, Fake Gamer Cat wants The Witcher, so one of you gentlemen out there simp for this broad and give me money to do so.
And I think the sophistication of the private sector is improving, and particularly important, the level of collaboration between the private sector and the government, especially the FBI, has, I think, made significant strides. Pretty much.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, you didn't know how that would be taken, did you?
Do they not know that they have cameras in these places?
No, he knows. He's just like, I'm sure he meant it in a general collaborative way, in the sense of like, oh, NGOs are getting together with major stakeholders and blah, blah, blah. Like, as a completely benign statement, it's like, Director Ray, are you not aware of the things that are going on in the way your current bureau's being seen?
This is just impressively tone deaf.
Yeah, that's just it. It's tone deaf, situation deaf, you know, current reality deaf. Like Director Ray's like off in his wood paneled office.
Fake Gamer Cat said, "I had a bad day, came home when I cried." Okay. Well, I mean, guys, you can make her day much better, and you know exactly how. Doc for 5. Hi, my name is Sinatra, and I don't like to let Doc have his giggles. Lamau. Yeah, no, not at the expense of my channel. Go shit over there.
He wanted the new channel.
Yeah, the new channel's been good, so we're not going to ruin it just yet. At least let me have it for a couple
like a whole
weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Gamer Vult, bullshit. The basis is multifaceted. For example, a 2-door Civic would have been $100 a month, a 4-door in a very neighborhood. When I was 17 years old, getting Civics, like to play Fast and the Furious. Well, no, there is an aspect to it that is correct to what Biden said, but the issue is that he keeps mixing up black with poor, and I honestly don't think he knows the difference.
What was his line?
White kids deserve just as much of a chance as no,
poor kids,
rich kids deserve just as much of a chance as black kids, or something like that.
I'm pretty sure he said white and then poor. That was the comparison.
Oh yeah, white. Yeah.
Poor kids. No, it was poor kids deserve just as much of a chance as white kids. The assumption was that white kids are automatically rich because, you know, that's his worldview. And if you don't know to vote for me, well, you ain't black.
Because honestly, in his entire life, he has been nothing but a white, rich old guy. Like, he was 12 years old and rich. I went back and I watched the original part of that. Hold on. I got to make fun of Bluntly Blondie here in a second. I went back and I watched the original part of that, and I forgot that the song wasn't in the original part. And I'm like, what's wrong with the audio? Why is the song not?
Did you just sing along with it? Create your own musical track?
Of course.
Nice.
Bluntly Blondie said, "What a beautiful Aryan god." Bluntly, Henry Cavill is as dark as I am. And Gamer Vult just not mincing words at all. He can impale me with his sword. I mean, there you go.
Wow.
Looney Lenny for the big 110. I shouldn't, but I like helping people. Thank you, Looney Lenny. That is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Can we get a big thank you to Looney Lenny out there? Indeed. You may commence... Doc for 10. You may convince drooling, Miss Cat. Thank you very much, guys. Incredibly generous. Let's take a look to see where that goal is. Oh, we are just about there. Not bad. Oh, wrong button. Not bad at all. Okay, in a second, I'm going to tell you guys here. You know what? Let me see. Can I pull this up here without revealing person? Can you talk for a second? I want to see if I can pull this up without revealing personal information.
Well, I can totally talk. What is it you're bringing up that you can't reveal? I don't understand.
About it's tax stuff, and I don't want my.
Nah, no one wants to see your tax stuff. Hey, some of us have a thing for dark and handsome. That's right, Nurse Khaleesi. It's tall, dark, and handsome. That is the way.
Can I confirm? As one who is most of those things, can confirm. Sinatra, your community. Oh.
No, you're not. It's fine. I've seen Sinatra's sexiest picture. Unfortunately, he sent it to me.
He knows I am all of those things. You can say what you want about me, but you can't say I'm not pretty.
Well, it wasn't pretty. It was just too much of a come hither stance. It was really weird.
Drunk. I was drunk in the bar, and you got me standing, giving a thumbs up. I'm not sure how that makes a come hither stance, but
I would show the picture, but I did know. If you remember, I wasn't opposed to it. I'm like, yeah, man, looking good, looking cut. Why did I receive this?
Oh, you just messaged me at the right time.
yeah. I'm just feeling it.
Okay, I can blank these out. Okay, when the time comes, I will pull that up. Treasury Secretary, U.S. to reach debt ceiling on Thursday, which has since passed, and I have not seen a thing about it. So I'm not sure what came of it.
You know, the Republicans, the way they make a big fucking deal out of overspending, or used to, or claim to.
Of course. They block out the rest of the article. Her response to this was to cut Social Security, disability, and something else. I don't remember which one. But notice how they didn't say, okay, well, we can't send another $2.5 billion to Ukraine like we did literally today.
Yeah.
They didn't try to cut that.
Can I kill myself?
You gotta keep the important things, man. Come on.
Hey, fuck you! I want to die!
Doc, thank you for the $5. Pucker up Polly Snooters feeling romantical. Yeah. I think he was just feeling flirty. And it was like, oh, look, I got a text message. Here, let me send that off. Oh, shit, that was to Polly. Nah, well, because he was drunk. It was, that's what happened. That's what I felt.
And of course, they blamed Republicans for all of this. Because what else are they going to do? Janet Yellen proposes it, and they blame Republicans. Now, here's the part where I'll bring up the stuff. The richest 1% pocketed 2/3 of all new wealth. Prompts calls for taxes. Okay, now the richest 1%. Would say the President of the United States be in that richest 1%?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's interesting because he failed to report $50,000 a month in rent. His son paid him $50,000 a month in rent for $50,000 a month in rent for a house.
That he and his son both claim to own.
Yes. And he didn't report it on his taxes. $50,000 a month income, didn't report it on his taxes.
Yeah, and that's the Corvette house with the stash of documents. Wait a minute, your son owns that?
Can I kill myself? Hey, fuck you! I want to die!
Hey, Pinky, I want to die too. She simply says, hi, Polly. Hi, Pinky. Somebody hit the $8. If you're so inclined, not a demand.
So what's the new rules for us plebs? We have to abide to reporting 600, right?
Yep, 600.
Well, actually,
on Cash App, that's enough.
Actually, it's more like $10. We have to report $10. Here is a 1099 I got from Twitch, and they said for royalties and payments above $10 are reportable.
Yeah. Or so it's rent.
It's not $600. It is $10 that they're coming after you for. And I was like, oh, maybe that's just a Twitch thing. Nope, I got this one from Cash App too. Hello, you're receiving this email because you received more than $10 in dividends or cash on Cash App.
Hey, Far.
Biden can get away with just
Christ
ignoring.
to you too.
Biden can get away with not reporting $50,000 in taxes, and he's not going to get the IRS knocking on his door. He's not going to get a subpoena to court. He's not going to get any of this stuff. But if you don't report that $10 your friend sent you for buying them lunch, you are going to be in trouble, Mr. or Mrs. I have never seen a more lopsided system in my life. I could not even have imagined this if you asked me to describe you dystopia 2 years ago. I couldn't even have imagined this.
You've seen the, of course you have. You put a video out about it, the incredible hypocrisy of the report.
And no, I don't ever fucking stop talking. If you don't like the commentary, just go masturbate to the video by yourself instead of masturbating to my words. Okay? Fuck off.
I mean, okay. That's pretty good cowboy. But that was
dude, I saw that. I watched that video this morning and I saw that. I'm like, oh, that would be so fucking good.
Oh, right. I got $2 and $8 and I didn't disable the kitty one. Oh, there we go. Okay, here.
I got the Ricada one.
Yeah, okay, here's the Ricada one. Whoops.
I got the Ricada one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, the cat one's the one that played on my open OBS.
Oh, no, I got the Ricada.
Oh, well, I don't know what chat got.
They got the Ricada because I got the Ricada.
Oh, yeah, they got the Ricada. Okay, fine, cool.
I saw that this morning. Like, that is so fucking perfect. I should make that a donation. Then I forgot.
And I got there first.
Could you imagine if we had the same donation?
It's going to happen.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got the same frying pan conk. That's pretty goddamn close. Not the exact same incident. Yeah.
Oh, yours is the alligator. Mine's the snake. Yeah.
No, the one of the guy running through the group of protesters, pinging him in the head, right?
Yeah, that's good. We have the same. Okay, so it's my 101 and your $100 and 1 penny. It's the same anime flying energy ball thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We use the same. Yeah, I use it as a fucking rocket to destroy Trappist bastards, and you're using it for what again?
It's a final flash attacking the stream boss, whomever the stream boss might be. It's interactive. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please, by all means, hit up the $100 and 1 penny donation. I'll show you.
I just hit up the plain old $100 on mine to see the sword slaughter. Okay, it doesn't have Henry Cavill, but it's got a samurai slicing people to fucking provolone. It's great.
Either way, whatever you do, we are $54 from goal, which is phenomenal.
But I hear you about like up on your channel, the incredible hypocrisy in and around people responding to Biden and his fucking top secret document bullshit. If it had been anybody else, like, I don't know, a former orange president, they would be handling it quite differently. Same thing. I can't wait till mainstream media starts carrying water for Joe Biden on this 50 grand and the rent thing, where it's like, anybody can lose track of things and not report it. It's understandable. I mean, I forget when I have $50,000 in rent coming into me on a house that I myself claim to own.
Sometimes I forget to cash the checks.
It happens every day. People go home with top secret documents every day. People get $50,000 in rent on a house that they own. Wait, what?
But trust me, it's going to get more interesting. Because Jean-Pierre makes it clear that she will blame Republicans for any economic downturn, even though Biden is president. Is this the same video I have here? Look at this.
Raise gas. They're going to vote to raise gas prices and deprive Americans of relief at the pump. And they're threatening to kill millions of jobs and 401k plans by trying to hold the debt limit hostage.
So Republicans are trying to kill your 401k that Democrats will raid if they don't find a way to raise the debt ceiling.
Yeah. We're going to spend so much money that we're going to hit the debt ceiling early and hard. And if you don't go along with us because of the annoying systems of our democratic republic to require the other side to vote for raising this debt ceiling, even though it's only one political party spending like drunk sailors, it's their fault. They're the ones who are hurting you. Well, wait a minute. Aren't you Democrats the ones who are hurting us by deflating the value of the money that we have and then rushing us to a debt ceiling to the point where you're holding a gun, figuratively, to the head of the other side to allow you to keep spending by raising the debt ceiling? And now you're going to blame them for this? I mean, Jean-Pierre, you have no credibility for anything you do. Do you think anyone's buying your fucking blatant partisanism standing at that fucking podium?
Meanwhile, the entire idea of even not sending money to Ukraine doesn't even cross their minds. Shelly in the chat, I wasn't going to tell the story. I was going to let her tell it Sunday if she wanted to, but I guess we're going to go through it now. Right. She got certified mail yesterday for today that she is being summoned to court. She has to actually physically go to court over $700 in taxes. And they're holding a fine, and this is over like 5 different things. Okay. But they're holding a fine of $1,000 a piece or 100 days in jail per thing if she doesn't pay the $700 in taxes. Meanwhile, Biden, perfectly fine, not claiming $50,000 in taxes.
Well, if Shelley had everybody but Fox News, Breitbart, and Sky News Australia for some reason, backing her up, maybe she wouldn't have these problems. It's clearly Shelley's fault. Why isn't all of mainstream media carrying water for you, Shelley?
I have been charged with a misdemeanor, 1 up to 1,000 in 180 days if I don't appear in court. It is pure fucking insanity.
If she doesn't appear in court over this $700 matter.
Yeah. I assume that they're spending more to take her to court than the actual money.
Have you sent a registered letter? They're not cheap. Speaking of receiving things, I got a Christmas gift yesterday.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
USPS took until yesterday to send it to me. It was...
Holy shit.
It was mailed on the 16th of December. I don't know what way station, whatever the fuck happened. It was like a care package of different things. There was some chocolates in there. There was... Oh, Sin, you'll love this. There was an eggnog candle in there. It was called Creamy Eggnog. I was like, this thing don't smell like no eggnog. You can't make a Oh my God, it smells delicious.
It doesn't? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. The smell is so strong and so clear. Like it's like clearly, creamy eggnog. The sheminisons in there. How do you make something smell creamy in the air by burning a wick? It's baffling, but I love it.
They have some way of doing that fucking magic.
It's an incantation.
Fuck, I have a 401k. Well, you better watch out. Golf and Guns at $50,000 a month to $600,000 a year. But if you don't report that $10 that somebody sent you on Cash App, oh boy, you're gonna go to court. I mean, it's my fault I didn't pay the taxes, but that should be a civil thing like wage garnishment or something. But it shows up in court or you'll be arrested. And $1,000 per thing, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. $700, you have to go to court. $600,000, you're fine. Don't worry about it. No big deal. I really hope that this shit this is unsustainable for the common person. $8 a dozen eggs, $4 a gallon gas, and go to pay every single penny that you have to guess that you owe, or else you go to jail.
You know what? You know what a big frightening thing is? Let's say that you were somebody that all right, you know what? I've got a little bit extra money. I got some 401k. I'm going precious metals because the current administration is causing inflation so badly that I'm going to invest in something that always does spike in value, i.e. gold and silver. And let's say you went silver because you don't have the money to buy ounces of gold. Fine. Good. That would be a smart move. Do you have any idea what the capital gains tax is going to be on that?
Oh, insane. Absolutely insane.
Capital gains blows my mind. It's like, let me see if I get this right. Somebody took the risk. They absorbed the risk of buying $600 worth of silver or $1,000 of silver because they had $1,000 in savings. And I don't want to see that deflated through inflation down to having the spending power of $700. It won't be actually reduced. It'll still be $1,000, but only have the spending power of what it did $700 a year ago. You know what I mean? So I'm going to buy some silver with it instead. The value of silver goes up because the value of the currency goes down. Right. Okay, yeah, now you know you owe enough capital gains tax on that because it's an initial investment for you. You took the risk. The value of the metal could have gone down. How are you owing? When did I turn into my father?
Your risk, our profit.
That's what I mean. This is like bring up inheritance tax at Thanksgiving and watch my dad turn table flippingly angry.
Can I come over for Thanksgiving?
You can actually. It would drive my mom nuts. Three of us all complaining about the same thing.
Don't tell me that because I will. Ghastly said come over as a joke, and like 6 months later, I was at his doorstep like, "What up, dude?" Don't say that shit.
This is my friend Sinatra. He hates taxes as well. Come on in, son.
We have a seat right over here for you, my boy. We're $53 from goal and a song. And take a look at what Queen Jean-Pierre also said. Same press conference, by the way. You could tell by her green screen shirt.
This Sunday, the president will speak about the fight to secure women's fundamental right to reproductive health care in the face of these attacks.
The president will speak on the right to fundamental women's health care, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is the next part.
She will talk about...
Harris.
Excellent.
President Harris.
What's at stake for millions of women across the country, and most importantly, the need for Congress to codify the protections of Roe into law.
So normally most people would just look at that as, yeah, she gaffed, she fucked up, she said the wrong thing. But have you seen this one? Look at this. I think they really are setting up Kamala to take over. Look at this. This is embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
But watch when he gets back up.
He's posing for the photo op. Look, yeah, thumbs up, Joe. Looking good.
They must have pumped him with all the extra energy things. Because watch. Did you see everybody reaching to catch him?
Yeah.
Look at Draymond Green, Kerr, and all them. They're like, oh, he's gonna fall.
No. He nice save. I got to say, Joe, nice save. He picked it up and turned it into a wrestling move. Look at me strike the pose.
But they found out where the documents were.
God damn it, Sid.
Oh, but speaking of, we know where they're at, but she didn't.
The president said he takes classified information and materials seriously. And as we have said, we have cooperated from the moment we informed the archives that a small number of documents were found, and we will continue to cooperate. We have cooperated closely with the Justice Department throughout its review, and we will continue that cooperation with the special counsel. We are confident that a thorough review will show that these documents were inadvertently misplaced.
It's okay, guys. He didn't mean it. It's fine. Why are you worried about it?
And I mean, what's the issue? People misplace documents all the time. And besides, we're cooperating. We sent our own lawyers, the president's own lawyers, who have no clearance to be looking at these documents, to sift through his things, to find them. Wait, what? Why are lawyers that are not cleared to be looking at top secret documents looking through files for top secret documents?
It's interesting. How would they know what they're looking for?
Well, it's fine because under oath and under during an official investigation in the future that, as Corinne Jean-Pierre says, they would be totally willing to cooperate with, they can answer questions. Oh, no, wait, they can't because they're his lawyers and there's attorney-client privilege. Do you think that's maybe why he had his own lawyers doing it? Do you think?
Maybe. I don't know. Oh. Goal! Haven't seen this one in a while. That is a good one. That is a good one. We don't often get to see that one. Thank you, conservative atheist. That should be. It certainly is goal. Thank you very much. We will get a song on the way out, sir. Much appreciated, guys. Give it up for conservative atheist rounding it out and getting us home. When you go to a party and you don't know anyone and you're trying to fit in.
Oh my God, he's so confused. He's having a moment. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
Oh, I felt bad for him for a second there. Holy
yeah,
shit.
it's bad.
Wow.
This is exactly why this is called national embarrassment. Look at this.
Number of bullets and go in a magazine. There's no need for any of that. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots.
That's not the saying.
Yeah.
If you need to work about taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15. I'm serious. Think about it.
Look at this goober's face. Go ahead and tell that to all the rice paddy packers and camel riders that successfully fended off F-15s.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, until you left a bunch of high-tech, U.S. military materiel in the hands of the Taliban, what were they fighting you with? Kalashnikovs. How'd they do? Well, you felt the need to leave, didn't you? And it wasn't the soldiers who felt the need to leave. It was you who ordered them to leave to be able to reach a artificial date of the 20th anniversary of September 11th to be able to make it a crown jewel in your administration's achievement. And how many service members' lives did that particular decision cost, Joe? How long did they successfully fight you, hiding in fucking caves with Kalashnikovs? They didn't have F-15s.
I love how they can just somehow work that AR-15s are a weapon of war and also not enough to beat anybody in a war.
Yeah, that's good. That's a fucking really good point, actually. What are you worried, Joe? We don't have F-15s. It's fine, right? We're no threat to you.
I wonder why he keeps talking about the Civil War, but this is also incredibly embarrassing.
Congratulations today, the honorees, including your wife, who I understand is birthday today? Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh. One more time.
Birthday, dear Valen.
Holy shit.
One more time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, for
My God, that was something.
Happy birthday.
Valen.
That's what I do when I don't know the lyrics to a song. Just go. Oh, this is our president. Shelly said, I swear I thought he was going to say something about spanking her butt for her birthday. You know what? Same, actually. But we need a palate cleanser from this embarrassment. Want to see one of the coolest cakes I've ever seen in my life?
Cakes? Okay.
Cake, yeah. Bar, I don't know if you're still out there, but take a look at this shit. Look at that.
Holy shit.
Isn't that cool?
I'd be laughing like that kid.
That kid is obnoxious as shit, so I'm going to mute it, but look at that. Look at that. How dope.
That is awesome.
That is really cool. Happy birthday, you little shit, and you may consider yourself newsed.
Nice.
That was some... Wow, even most of the show on my own, I still managed to go way over time. Looks like I can't blame these guys anymore. CGI? No, that's just how eyes work. What? That's not CGI. You've never seen one of those? Have you never seen a flip book?
I was about to say, it's a flip book in frosting form. It's fine.
Frosting form, nice. You smell 'em, Dave Steve, for $1 do. Oh, I feel like we can just play. I feel like we can play a game with just Biden. Is he oldest? The show where we see clips of Biden, ask if he's just old or if he's being blank. Is maybe. Maybe.
Oh,
your giggles make me giggle, even though I'm seriously depressed. Well, sucks to suck. It's just animate. Oh my god. Okay, that's it. We're
I think Far meant it by the form of that a flip book is animation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm choosing to interpret what she said charitably.
Well, that is a good choice, I do believe. Polly, do you have anything you want to show before we get out of here?
No.
No Noir Bar this weekend, nothing like that?
No, I might be. I don't know. I haven't wrangled the cats yet. You know how it be. Did a Noir Bar last night. That was fun.
How did that go?
It was full of Far and Platty. It was a good time. We hung out. We talked about... I went through the trouble to find them another house on Zillow. Bombay Beach, California property. And these two turn their nose. I'll go back to Zillow. They're picky customers. It's fine. I will find them a nice place to live.
I did have...
It was a trailer in the middle of the desert for $50,000. And they were like,
that sounds
no.
perfect for those, honestly.
Well, this is what I mean. It was right next door to fucking Toothless Jim and Charlene. That's why I was choosing to call
How do you not want to live next to Jim and Charlene?
Yeah, Charlene.
Charlene.
Yeah.
All right, guys, but that is it. We are done. I have a video going up on the second channel. Make sure you're around for Sunday this weekend. That would be that'll be fantastic. It'll be super duper fun. But here's a song for the way out, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for an incredible show. Please make sure you are subscribed to the Silent Sin on your way out. We will be back on Monday at our normal time. Guys, have a lovely, lovely evening, and we will see you all in the next one.
Stacker.
There's all.
A person who drops $1,000 on stream for Sanu. A person who treats donating like wartime. I know one thing, man. I'm gonna have to spit some flames as a way to say thanks. You know what I'm saying? Eat, drink, and be merry, cause tomorrow you may die. That's what life's about, man. Chili, spaghetti, and pasta salad. Yo, I'ma call it the pagan homage, they're on it, they're saying drop at the top, but no then about it, the top is the cream of the crop. About to give a facelift, you can take those other songs and you can shove them up your anus. I ain't never understood what the skill's worth, but I always understood how to kill words. Never stopping, always on the grind, I see you dropping 1,000 like all the time. Now I'll just rip this beat with my teeth, about to take its head off clean. Stack up G's, you're ruthless. If you got money, then through with the music. It's coming, gonna gala gun it right through ya. You want Sinatra, so you drop the dough. Snuck up behind them, clocked them, now it stopped the show. The song will roll, ask me and I got you, bro. Ain't got nothing to call you, so I got to go. They're a stacker. What you gonna call them on the show? They're a stacker. Powered up and throwing round a dough. They're a stacker. Go whichever way the wind blows. Not a horse cock, I'm just letting you know. They're a stacker. Keep it up and go another round. They're a stacker. Thinking that they'll go another round. I'ma do it up, then I'll hold it down. Y'all can keep it rolling. How does that sound? You can tell from my everyday lifts, I ain't fit. I speak or release when I spit. I'm just another rap man, slaughter in the mix. Trying to make your dollars, provide that hit to the temple. We need plenty of dames. Y'all's way. We'll play video games all day. When sins part of your main, the artist to blame. You did it for the shock on his face. Yo, and people holla how you do that there. Why your fans chanting low and did you lose that there? Heighten the meter, we see people fighting the leader. Always in trouble with Shelly cause we yelling at streamers. And we always giving them leeway to hear me say the stacker assembly stays. We come out at night cause he creeps all day. Trying to hold down the stream is the stacker way. Stacker. What you gonna call him on the show? They're a stacker. Powered up and throwing round a dough. They're a stacker. Go whichever way the wind blows. Not a horse cock, I'm just letting you know. They're a stacker. Keep it up and go another round. They're a stacker. Thinking that they'll go another round. I'ma do it up, then I'll hold it down. Y'all can keep it rolling. How does that sound? They're a stacker. What you gonna call them on the show? They're a stacker. Powered up and throwing round a dough. They're a stacker. Go whichever way the wind blows. Not a horse cock, I'm just letting you know. They're a stacker. Keep it up and go another round. They're a stacker. Thinking that they'll go another round. I'ma do it up, then I'll hold it down.